Okay, so I'm going to start by explaining what we did in the last class. I need to know that everyone can hear me. So, if you can hear me, you don't need to speak. Just drop a comment. And if you're just joining, please make sure your mic is it's actually mute. You can as well put up your camera. We don't need to see your face. We know you are fine, but just put up your camera so that we don't have so that the internet does turn off your microphones, turn off your camera. So somebody just let me know in the chat box that you can hear me. Just let me know in the chat section that you can actually hear me loud and clear so that I can proceed. Today is Friday. A lot of people are in the okay, Osita Chris, you can hear me. Emmanuel Akpan, Ezema Samson. Okay, great. Bakonle Olusheyi, Olabukale. Okay. Yeah, sure. You can hear me. Yeah, nice. All right. So today is Friday, and we still need to have this class, and as well make sure we do it in such a way that those who want to go and party can still go to party because today is Friday. Of course, people go to the nightclubs. I'm not advising anybody to go to a nightclub. I'm just saying that people go to nightclubs. Your own can be vigil, but I mean, I understand that most of you might have other places you need to go to. I'm just kidding, child. You're welcome, but let's move. So make sure your camera is turned off. Make sure your microphone is turned off. Okay, I can hear you. I can hear that you can hear me. It's cool. So let's proceed. So immediately we're going to start with what we did in the last class. All right. So in the last class, we talked about UI versus UX design. UI versus UX design. In the next class, I'll probably use the Google Workspace, the one that is paid for, so that I stop limiting people one by one. It's tiring, but no problem. So we talked about UI and UX design in the last class. I'm not going to take this for more than 2 minutes. I just want to, because there's a video on it and it's also on the group. Um, I might reshare it for those who just joined today, courtesy of those who are already in the group. So UI UX design. UI design stands for what? User interface. UX design stands for what? User experience. So I'm just going to type it in the chat box. So user interface design is UI design, and user experience design is UX design. Now, you see the way I actually typed this thing. You see the way your avatars are here, these cards. You see the way they are arranged. All of this is UI design, the way they are arranged. Now, the UX part of it is how I feel having this chat box on my right side and not on the left. Imagine if this chat session was on the left. I don't know if it will be as convenient as it is on the right, because you will notice that almost all websites, 99.5% of all websites, their chat sessions are usually on the right. There's a reason for that. That's user experience. They know that the users feel more convenient responding to information on the right, and this is why the reason is because human beings scan information left to right. Almost every time we scan left to right. So if this guy was on the right here, I'm not saying it would not work, but I'm saying that those who are ahead of us in the design game know that it's always preferable for chat sessions to be on the right side of the human eye. Now that is user experience. Designing in such a way that the experience uh, is going to be really pleasant for the user. That's user experience. User interface design, which is UI design, is designing all of this here. You see the way these cards are. We have about 78, 79 people now in this on this call. 78, okay. But you see the way the cards are arranged. I can't see everybody here, and there's a layout behind that. There's an idea behind that. You can see the way my screen is being shared, and it's over here on the left because it's more important. Now that is the user interface design. Now a very another good example, because I like to give examples from basically any website that I go to. So I'm just going to use this one for example. This is Google, right? That's good. Sorry, let me admit this person. So this is Google, and then I just searched for onboarding UI design, and I went to images. Now you can see the way the images are arranged. Please put off your mic. Someone's mic is on. Um, Just put up your mic and stay blessed. So now you can see the way the images are arranged. See the way they are arranged. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. But they are not the same sizes, as you can see. Yet they contain basically the same amount of space, vertically, which is up to down. Horizontally is left to right. Same amount of space that they actually contain. Now this is UI design. So that I can scroll and it's just so beautiful. Nothing is too busy for me. But imagine I clicked on something like this one, for example. Now you see how these guys have moved here over here to form another column that is actually scrollable. It's actually scrollable, as you can see. And you see that this one here is not scrolling with this guy as I'm scrolling, because I've paid attention to this guy from my selection. Sorry, let me just admit. Akerele, something like that. Yeah, you're welcome. So you can see the way this guy is scrolling, but it wasn't always like this. If I click here, you see I go back to the first state that it was. Note what I just said, the first state. Now if I click on this one, here's the second state. You can see it's zoomed in here, and then these guys are just scrollable in case I want to pick another selection. And if I come here and scroll, it's scrolling without this guy, because if this scrolls and this scrolls at the same time, it causes confusion. Now, user experience. Now, let me explain user experience with this same example. Now that I clicked on this guy, maybe I'll click on another one. Let's say this one. There's one girl here, because I know we have majority of guys on this platform. I'm just saying sharp, but I think it's true. So I think this will be a more better example for the favor of the guys. So there's a girl here. Wait, it's still the load. It's still loading. It's supposed to be brighter than this. I think it's still loading. Okay, now user experience. If you look up here, there are icons here that I can use to navigate left and right on Google. And most of you might not have noticed this. All your years of using Google, you might not have used this ever. But why did they put this here? Why is it still here? Experience, the user experience. Because imagine a user has to always come here, just and click here and then go over here to see. So they are just saying, okay, you can just use this navigation icons here and just keep going like a slide. That's the experience that I'm trying to pass there. That slide experience. Now, wow. All these people, I said 9:10, but this is 9:15. Anyways, let's just move on. Okay, so who be this now? Now, so now they do. Okay, I understand that everybody's busy. It's a Friday, but okay, let's move on. So, good. Now, if you look here, there is another icon here for what happens. What happens when I click this icon? It's like a more option. Like you see, I can share, save, and report experience. So they're not just giving me information on Google. The user experience designers want me to be able to share the pictures directly. I'm not talking about right clicking now. I'm talking about the options that are available by Google itself, not the browser. So I can save the picture and I can report this if this is something that maybe it's my website. I could just report it and all of that. And if I click here, I cancel this preview and I go back to my default state. That is user experience. But this is design. All of these things that you see here. So I'm just going to look at this guy. So hold on. Let me see what's going on here. It's not fine. Okay. So let's move back to what we have. So today we are looking at frames, onboarding. This should be onboarding screens. We're looking at component variant and auto layouts. But before we go into these four, I want to start by saying that this is Figma. You can see this is figma.com. And remember in the last class, I told you how to get to a page like this. I said when you log into Figma, you just click on new design file. Okay, when you click on new design file, you come to a very blank page, and you know you can basically now you can start putting all the things you need to put. But let me start by explaining what all these things are and how we use the Figma platform, so that I know that I did it once, because I won't do this twice. Thank you very much. This icon here represents the main menu. You can go back to files, that's to your home page on Figma, You can create a new design file from here, edit, view, plenty options here. And not be me go do all of them with you now. You will go through it later on and see what it does. But you don't. You basically, I barely use this guy. If I use this guy, it's just for two things, and I'll tell you. So you have text here, you have arrange, vector, plugins, widgets, preferences. If you want to change your theme to light or dark mode, you can actually alter your theme from here. I always prefer dark mode. And then we have libraries, get your desktop app, help an account. Like I said, I barely use this guy. But what do I do here? Whenever I come here, it's because I want to go straight to view and I want to turn on my ruler. You see this here called ruler. It's a very important thing in design. Please, you need to know that it's as important as design in itself, because it is not enough to design, but your design has to be capable of being developed without issues. Your design has to be capable of being developed. And if you don't know how to make use of correct measurements, layouts, I showed you the Google example, and you can see that there is just this accuracy of measurement. Nothing is sticking out. You see the distance between these two here. The distance between these two, you see, is equal to the distance between these two. The distance between these two equal to the distance between these two. The distance between these two equal to the distance between these two. It's intentional. It's really intentional. Anybody in the waiting room? Okay, let me see. Mr. Marolov, I am recording. Who said my voice still skipping? Can you hear me properly, please? I need like two responses. If you can hear me. Okay. But next time, just type. Just type. All right. So just type next time, so that because there's some people on this call. Maybe they are married. So if they are married, and imagine they're on speaker and their husband hears the guy's voice, it's not going to be nice. You understand? My voice is not too masculine, so they can manage me. But most of you have eaten a bar and all of that, so it's not. Don't be making me blush. My voice is not perfect. I'm still working on it. I'm not a singer. But let me go back to what I'm supposed to be doing here. You are distracting me. Please focus. Okay. Now, what do I do here? Come to view and then you turn on ruler. When I click this to turn on ruler, this is going to have a check like this. When it has a check like this, my ruler is going to come up here and here, because I should be able to measure vertically and horizontally. So if I click on this, you see now I have all these figures here. So if I come here and drag down, I have this red guy on my screen. That's my ruler. If I do the same from here, that's my ruler. When the ruler is selected, it turns blue. If it's not selected, its default color is red. The second thing I might be doing if I come here is, yes, exactly. The second thing is to change light to dark, and dark to light. There's one more thing I used to do here. I think is to set merge amount, but we're not making use of that today. This is the design that I want us to do today, and I just yeah, I'm sure we can. Actually, I'm sure we can do this much. Okay. So having explained this guy, I will move straight up to this one. This one is called the move tool. I use it to move everything on my screen. All right, I can use it to just click and drag about my screen. There's another one here called the scale tool. It's not difficult to use, but I don't find it necessary for beginners. Here we have the region tools. You see these three guys here. Just leave them. You only need number one here for your start. And then here we have the shape tools, where we have rectangle. If you want to draw a rectangle, you just click on it. Then you come here and draw a rectangle. Let's say you're trying to design something like this. You just come and draw a rectangle. And we can accept that. So it's the same with all the shapes there on Figma. I hope you're writing. Then we have the line tool, arrow, ellipse, polygon, star, and place image. The place image is the one I'm going to explain next. Let me admit somebody. So now, what's the place image there? I'm going to do something. So I'm going to draw a circle using the shortcut O, O for orange on my keyboard. So when I click on O, my mouse knows that okay, it's a circle I want to draw. So anything I do on my screen, when I click on O, it's just going to be circular. Okay, draw now. Okay, yes, circular. But you can see it's wobbler because I'm not holding the shift key. When you hold the shift key on Figma, it's like a power key for making things accurate. It's like what we need in Nigeria right now to just make things smooth. So the shift key is just going to make things smooth. If you click, I'm clicking on it right, and that guy is doing like basketball, but I'm just going to leave it at this. Now, all these people joining by 12, 9:22. What is your plan? What is your plan? Okay, so let's proceed, please. So I'm just going to show you how this guy works, right? So place image. The video part is for those who pay to Figma. Figma is a free tool to do basically anything you want to do, but there are some extra features. So when I click on this, it's going to open my gallery, and I'm just going to come here and select one of these pictures. Now you can see my cursor is having that picture. I just have to place it inside this circle, and you see it has taken the shape of that circle. That's basically what we use the place image for. You get that? Now I'm going to explain this one here on my right if you can see my mouse. But let me first of all do all these guys, then I come here because you can as well change the image from here. I mean, make I just do them now. No. Let's not skip steps. Let's just take it slowly. Okay. Then the next one you have here is the drawing to pen and pencil. The pen and pencil is for drawing. I'm not going to explain that today until we have need to use it, maybe in the design or following the curriculum in one of the sessions. The next one you have here is a text tool. Very important because of course you can't write without the text tool. So if I click on the text tool here, and then I click anywhere, then I can write this is a class. But you can see that I can see that you cannot see what I wrote. Now to zoom into an element when you're on Figma, you can just use your trackpad, zoom in. But the shortcut, because I like to use shortcuts, the shortcut is Shift 2. So once you've selected something, you just do Shift 2, you zoom into it. If you do Shift 1, you zoom everything on your artboard. Now I'm going to send you all the shortcuts for Figma, probably tonight or maybe early tomorrow morning. All the shortcuts you need for Figma. So I'm just going to zoom into this. This is the class, and that's the text tool in action. Now you see this one here called resources. We have three things here. I will leave them for now because it will take a while to explain those ones for a day one or a day two rather. So let me just admit lecture on now let me go to, so this one here is called a hand tool. Like we need a hand in Nigeria to just move this country around. That's what the hand tool does. You can see that this graphic is actually because it's zoomed in. You understand? So if I just do shift one, everything is back to normal on my screen. That's what the hand tool does. This is for comments. We use this when we're working with a team. Let's say you're in Nigeria working with a team in Dubai, or you're working with a team in London. Now you can just come here, place a comment and tell them developers, no go code written and no design. They might not understand what you wrote, but you've passed your message. So it's a comment and they just see it. I don't know what I spelled there, but God be with us. All right, so let's just move to this part of the screen. Now you can see my cursor is that's because the comment is highlighted. That's why it's doing like this. If I click on this one, it goes back to my move tool, or I just use V. The shortcut is V on the keyboard. So I like shortcuts. So I'm going to go to the center of the screen because of course there's something here. Every design you do is called a draft. Every design you do is called a draft. This is where you rename your draft. So if I double click on this, I'm just going to call this, let me say day two. And I click enter. So the name of this file is day two. And then on the right here, we have my avatar, the humble me, GBK Nathan. We have this share. If you want to share your design to maybe developers or I don't know, any other person you want to share your design link to, or when I send you assignments, give you assignments rather, you will send your links to me. You just come here, click on share, and then you just come here, click on copy link, and when you copy the link, you find a way to send it to WhatsApp when you have an assignment such as tonight. This here is called the play or present. It's for prototypes. You see how normal applications work. Let me just give you an example real quick. 1 second. Let's say I do UI design prototype. So I just get an example real quick. So let's see. Show me a prototype. Um, relax my seats. I will know. Let me just type UI design. I don't want to go back and forth on my own screen. I will have showed you guys from my own design end. but I think I can do a bit from here. I just want to have multiple. I want to have multiple examples at the same time. These people, eh? Okay, yes. So I think this command should get me exactly what I want. So you can look at this, for example. I'm just going to click on this one here, so you can see what it does. Let me admit someone that just pinged. Victor Woke. Okay. So let's wait for this guy to load so that we can see what she does, because I believe prototypes are female. Okay, so it's still loading. You have to be patient. You have to have a lot of patience as a person. You know what I'm saying? So it's taking too much time. I might just go for another one. Me, I'm not patient. So let's go. It's too tiny. Let's see this one. A prototype is like how the application is going to actually interact, you know, when it's built, when it's developed, all of that. That's what a prototype is. So we do that on Figma as well. So you can design the app and also prototype it as well, so that you can show the client, okay, this is how the app is going to interact when the users are actually using it. Um, let's I think it's loading, but we can come back to this later. So that's what the present here is for, but you're not using this for the next 2 days. This here is to zoom. Of course, you don't need that. Now I'm going to start talking about here one by one. I'm going to start with drawing a circle one more time. No, no, let's use a rectangle this time. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, and I'm going to zoom into it. Now here you can see the x-axis, you can see the y-axis. This is just position. You will barely use this. It's just position on the screen. What you use more often is the width and the height. These two guys, you can see it's set to 100. Now I'm just going to reduce the width to 50. See, I have the width 50. I'm going to reduce the height to 30. See, I have the height at 30. Now, sometimes you need to know that, let's say you want to reduce it and you just want them to maintain the same size. You see, it's at 100. If I click here, there's something called here. I don't know if you can see it. I know that my laptop video is actually very, very tiny, but the Lord will supply eyesight to you. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but this here is saying constraint proportions. When you click on this, and if you do one of the input fields there, let's say the height to 50, the width will automatically change to 50. So it's just going to be the same all around. We use this for icons, etc. And we'll come to that. The next one you have here is called the rotation tool. We use this to bend the life of people. Hmm. To bend the life of elements. Yes, we use it to bend the life of elements. We don't bend the life of people, please. We're not. Oh no, I'm just this Nigeria. Anyways, so we use this. You can see, just rotate it. So if you are good with maths, you know that 45 degrees is like this, 90 degrees is like this, just like that. This one here is very, very important. This guy here is called the corner radius. Now, what exactly is the corner radius? If you look at this frame here, you see that there's this curvy edge here. Even if it's a rectangle, you can see this curvy edge here. Very curvy. That's what the corner radius is. So I'm going to zoom into this using Shift 2. Shift 2. That's what I used to zoom. Now, when I come here and I just maybe let me say I drag this like this, you can see it's increasing the corner radius as it should. Don't turn out to circle. That was not the intention. So let's say I do like, let's say 24. You can see it's something like what we have on that design already here. Let's keep pushing. The next one here we have is layer. You see this layer guy? Don't leave him first. Just leave this guy. It's a bit complicated for day two, so leave this guy. The next thing we have here is color. When you click here, you change the color of this guy. I would have put green, white, green, but I'm not happy with Nigeria, so let's just use red. Mhm. Now the red, that's a color. But let me do one more thing for you. You can see this bar here. This bar here is for setting the transparency of the color. It's for setting the transparency of the color. All right, so if this was blue, for example, you can see I'm setting, so it's at 0% now. It's not even visible, but somewhere around there you can see it's visible, and that's cool. So let me just Ctrl Z and delete this guy. So why did I delete it? I'm not done. Okay, yes. So here you can see this eye here looking like that thing you usually see on password input fields. If you click on it, it's going to disappear the color because you can see it's attached to the field. And this one here is going to remove the color entirely. And I have to click the plus icon here to get the color back. And I'm going to go for my blue color. This one here is sorry, hold on. This one here is called the stroke. What exactly is the stroke? Let me see if I can find a good example here. Okay, good. Look at this skip button here. You see this borderline. I'm trying to use the simplest terms. Borderline. Yeah, that's like stroke. So watch this. If I come here and click on stroke, by default it gives the black stroke. Let me just make the stroke white so everybody can see it. You can see that. So here is the same thing. This is transparency of the stroke. It's just the same thing as this bar in here. It's just the same thing as this bar in here. So that's just transparency of the stroke. Now, this one here is the anicolapo of the stroke, the eye opener. This one here is to set if you want the stroke to be inside the shape, outside the shape, or at the center. You can see we have three options here. There's a difference. Let me show you the difference. I'm going to increase this one here is to increase the width of the stroke. You can see it. It's not magic. So I made it 5. If I take this to outside, you can see that the stroke went outside. If I take it to inside, you can see the stroke came inside. Let me increase this guy a bit so you see. So you see the stroke is inside the shape. If I take it outside, you can see that it's looking like what I don't know. Okay, so that's that for that. I'm just going to remove the stroke. It's looking too ugly. The next thing we have here is called the effect. You see this effect guy? Leave am for now. Talk about this in the next class. And the next one we have here is called the export. Let's say you finish designing and let's say you finish designing, right? You want to get those fine pictures like this for your portfolio or for your WhatsApp viewers, just to show people that you have made it. You can just come here, click on export, choose the format you want to export it in, PNG, PDF, whichever one, and then you just export it. So by the time you export it, it goes into your gallery or picture or my download folder, any of those ones, any of those ones. Mr. Ugu Chidera that should be a Mrs. Ugu Chidera Christabel. Please put off your camera. I feel like you're showing us your room. Please put off your camera. Yeah. There's no corner ratio. Did I say you should go and look for corner ratio? I send you to look for corner ratio. Just relax, okay? You will have it, but you first need to make sure a shape is selected or something that you can actually apply corner radius to. You understand? So without that, you can have the corner radius option pop up. And yes, the class is being recorded if you have poor network, but I will send the link as usual, so you don't have any issues. Okay, so I want to see if this little guy has loaded. It seems that it's still dragging. So let's keep moving. Okay. So where did I stop? So that's that. Now this guy here, like I said, I was going to come back to it. You see that it's not under the field. They show me color na image. They show me, but why? The reason is because if I click on it now, I come up here. You can see that image is what is selected. Initially, it should be solid. Let me prove that. If I click on this guy, and come here, you can see it's in solid color. You can actually create linear colors, radial, all of these. But you see this four, these three rather. No, these four, linear, radial, angle, and diamond. Leave them for now. Just focus on solid and image for today. So I'm just going to come here. If I want to replace the image, I can just click here. And of course, if you know how to follow on screen options, you just click on choose image, and you can just go and select one of these other images. Let's say the New York Times, and it goes in there. One last thing, some of you might not be very convenient with working with this background. You can see my background is very black. You can actually change your background by doing this, you know. But listen, you can't get this option if you have any element selected. You must make sure you are clicking on the workspace itself before you will have this guy selected. So I'm just going to go back to my black. If you don't like it, please go to court. Okay, so let's move on to what we have here. Number one is frames. Please write it down if you need to. What are frames? You see this my laptop screen. Sorry, let me admit some. You see my laptop screen as it is, it's a frame. Um, your phone is a frame. If you have an iPad, that's a frame. If you have a tablet, it's a frame. If you have a wristwatch, a smart wristwatch, please, not not those wristwatches. If you have a smart wristwatch, that's a frame. Everything that has an interface is a frame. Now, to get your frames, such as this guy, you can see here one, two, three. These are not rectangles, my people. These are frames. There's a difference between frames and rectangles, and you will know why in the next 2 minutes. These are frames. To get your frames, the shortcut to click is F on your keyboard. F for Father Bernard. But you can as well come here and just click on frame. When I click on this frame, something is going to happen in the extreme end of my laptop on this right. Watch. Now I have list of frames. I have the iPhone 14, which is the phone that just came out. I've been at the 14 Pro. Apple is confused. Well, you can select anyone here to design with. But if you are designing for development, that is, you're designing for developers to actually develop your app, your software, it's preferable to go for the 13 mini. It might be a small phone, but manage it. Good. So I'm just going to click on it. And when I do that, you can see I have this. It's just something like this, just a bit smaller. Maybe it's because of the image, size and all of that. I'm going to keep this here. I'm going to click on F again, and now I can go for the tablet frame. So I'm just going to go for the 11 inches iPad Pro, and I'm going to keep him here. F again on my keyboard. You can see I can go for desktop frame, and I can just go for, let's say, the MacBook Pro 16 inches, and I can just keep it here. F again on my keyboard. I can go for a watch presentation. Those of you that like to do social media adverts, you can do them with Figma as well. You can use Figma to do your adverts, your graphic designs as well. But that's not the main purpose of Figma. But I understand that some of you might just have small things you need to do with Figma. So you can just use any of these. But these are the three that I am actually picking right now. Now I'm going to apply corner radius to this one, which I've taught you. I'm just going to do it here. I'm going to give it 24. So when I do that, you can see that the curve, it has curved. You can see the edge. You can, if you look closely, if you look into it, you are going to see that there is a curvature. There is a curve. There is a curve on the exterior end of this 90 degrees. Yes. So yeah, you can do the same thing for this guy and for this guy as well. So I selected the both of them holding shift. Please, I don't want to perform magic. I selected this one, I held shift on my keyboard, and I also clicked on this one, and then I'm going to do the same 24. Not that is necessary for these two guys. Actually, let me delete these two. I don't think we need them for this guy. Now, now that we've covered what frames are, we'll go to number two, which is what? Onboarding screens. So what exactly are onboarding screens? You see, some of you use applications. When you launch a new application from Play Store, they give you all those things like welcome. What would you like? No, wait, let me just go and type example. UI design onboarding. Like welcome. Thank you for choosing, especially all those finance apps. Okay, good. Look at this one here for the females. Um, Anyway, you see pink, it's usually female. So you see this here, they said what? There's it's still a load, sha. Manage, share, keep. These are what onboarding screens. Those screens that take you through the onboarding process. Like you want to register, but just three. Usually there are usually three screens for onboarding. Yeah. So let me open this one. It's quite small. Let me open this one. Yeah, this is okay. So you can see onboarding screen as well. So basically to just contain an image, then more text about what the business does, and just like that, just like that, just like that. Onboarding screens. Now if you come back to this design here, if you come back to it, you're going to notice that the first screen here, you have an onboarding instance. There's no design for the three screens, but you can see that if you are very wise, if you are wise, you will see that there is one, two, three, four dots here, which means that there are four instances of this onboarding process. And that means that when you click on this next, this one is going to take the shape of this one. If you don't understand what I just said now, I'll pray for you later. When I click on this next, this one here, this last circle here, this one is going to take this elongative form of this one. Well, we're going to design it, and let's see how it goes. So let's start with this one. So I'll just take this to this guy. That's onboarding screen has been explained. So let me start by changing the background color of this guy to black. This here is called the eyedropper tool. It's not eye pencil, please, for the ladies. It's eyedropper. When you click on it, you can just select anything on the screen to take the color and apply it to the element that is selected. In this case, this black. You know. So let me just make my background a bit lighter so that we can see the black I'm working with. The next thing we have here is an image. People, I don't have time. I'm just going to go and type headphone image on Google, and just going to get a nice one. I'm just going to go to images here. Who is entering class by 44 minutes ago? Ade Bayo and Osam Babs. Okay, so I'm just going to so I'm just going to click on this. So let me just say I want to use this one here. I like this guy. It looks very rich. So this is it here. Now I'm just going to right click on it and I'm going to save the image. I can just copy it though. If I copy it and paste it in Figma, just Control V to paste, or you right click and paste here. You're going to see the image here, and but I just wanted to tell you that you can actually just save it. So when you save the image, so like this, like basically you can copy image from any place as long as it's on the internet and just drag it to Figma. So you can just get it here. You see it's basically the same. So this is the image we're using. Now I'm going to resize the image, but make sure your constraint proportions is on. So if I come here now and just do like 100, it's going to reduce the size of my earphone. Let me just drag it into this guy. And this brings me to the next important thing that I want to explain. If you look on my left here, I have a lot of things that I actually skipped, but I'm going to explain them. Layers and assets. You see this assets guy? No reason now. Just forget it for now. Layers. What are layers? Layer is like those days that you used to go and fetch water. Now, when you're going to fetch the water, I'm not saying you fetch water, but usually when you're going to fetch the water, you usually put let's say you put bucket inside bucket based on, let's say you're carrying 6 buckets to go and fetch at once. You can just put the big bucket the small bucket in the big bucket. So when the small bucket is in the big bucket, the small bucket becomes a how do I put this down? It's not in, it's inside it. It's inside the big one. You understand? That's what these layers are. So if you look here, only this 13 mini has something like a drop down here. If you look at it, it means that this image has been inserted into the bucket of the 13 mini. But you see all these my rectangles, they never enter. But watch this. If I take them, there you dey go. If I take them and drag them inside here, you can see, look at the left, look at this place. Just pay attention to this place. Forget my mouse. If I take them in here, you can see that they have entered into the bucket of the 13 million. So now you can see they are all in there. The rest of these guys are not inside my bucket, of which my bucket is a 13 million. So that's what layers are. You will pay attention to layers because it's very important. You see this hash sign here, this hash sign here that looks like what you used to borrow money from MTN. This hash sign here is what represents frames. You can see rectangles represented by its own shape, image by its own likeliness, text by T, etc. etc. Now, I'm just going to continue with the image. So I'm just going to increase this a bit. How am I increasing this thing without using these guys? I'm just dragging, but I'm holding shift on my keyboard. Shift is the power key for making things normal. Had it been Nigeria experienced a shift, things would have been normal. So I'm just going to take this and drop this here. I'm not doing exactly what we have here because I need this image and I don't have the time to do. And like I tell you guys, when I'm doing classes with you, it's not like I prepare for them. I don't. I don't prepare for your classes because I just look at it. I look at your curriculum. I know what to do. So no be me and you they do this thing. Just follow me. So now we have this guy here. It's pretty simple. Inside this guy, there's something like a circle in here. I can see it, because that's what is casting a shadow on this headphone. But ignore that for now. We'll do that probably when we go into more complex designs. The next thing is this rectangle here. There's a rectangle here that's a different color from the background. So I'm just going to come here, click on my rectangle, and I'm going to draw this. This is not how to design professionally. Oh. Note this. In professional design, we make use of layout grids. Layout grids is next class. But this is what you're going to do for me today as your assignment. So I'm just going to give this guy a corner radius of, let's say, 32, and then I have this here. Just increase it a bit, try to make sure you reach where it's supposed to reach, you know, and this is what it looks like. Then I just want to give it a slightly brighter color than the background, something like this will work. I know they say I'm again, okay, something like, I don't know if you are seeing. If you're not seeing it, please wear eyeglasses like me. I think I'm seeing it very fine on my end. Let me see. Okay, fine. Then we have text. So I'm just going to click on T for text, or I click who they join class by this time. Nafisat is Isiaka. So, okay. Oyeni is asking me, why did you say we should use 13 frame? Yeah, good question. Is onboarding screen similar to landing pages? Good question. I'll answer your questions in a minute. Let's just roll. So T for text, if you click outside and type, note that it is not going to be in your bucket. So yeah, I'm just going to type in capital, okay, no, not capital. Waiting they call for my laptop. Hold on. Oh. Good. So T for text, I'm going to click outside. See, I'm going to type find your best accessories in your location. But you can see that find your best accessories in your location. So I'm just going to come here. When you know how I zoomed into this thing, Abi, if you don't know how I zoomed into this thing, you just came to class now and you will watch the video later on. So I can resize this text. You can see it. You can just resize the text or something like this. You know. But you can see it's aligning left, but in our example it's aligning center. So I just want to come here. Here, now, very good. Now we're going to come into editing text properties. All right. So here is the font. This one here you see is the font. The name of this font is Inter. You will not see this thing unless a text is selected. Look, it's not there. But if I select the text, now I can see this guy. Now I'm going to go with a font called Sacramento. It's an actual font. See it there. Now I'm just going to, if you want to edit the font, you just come here and type the one, or you just click here and you get a lot of other fonts that you can actually choose from. Red Expo is nice. Let me use Red Expo this time. So then this is the alignment here: center, right, center. You know those Microsoft Word basics here. So center works fine for us. And then this is regular. This is for the weight. You can see this guy is looking like Indomie. So if I come here and take it to bold, it looks more like Eba and Ewedu. So let's use the board here, right? So I'm going to drag it into my bucket. Now you can see it has entered my 13 Pro, my 13 bucket where I have the text, the rectangle I just created, and the image. Now you need to know that you can see that the text is black in complexion or in color, and you can see it's actually small compared to what we have here. So I'm just going to increase the font size from here to, let's say, 24. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to increase the length a bit. Let me see in your location. So I'll just take it here, and this is the fill. You can see this is black. It's black in complexion or color. This please is color. Color is not complexion. I'm just kidding. So I'm just going to change the color to, let's say, I don't like using pure white in design, but let's say EF is a good code for the color. For those of you that don't know what these codes are, these are called hexadecimal codes. They are used for colors. Every color has its own hexadecimal code. Pure white is usually FFFFF. Pure black is usually 00000. But you can just keep it somewhere around here. E is okay. It's okay. Yeah. So this is good. The next thing you want to do is this other text underneath here. So I'm just going to do T for text because we are doing basic things, right? If not, I will don't do shortcuts. T for text. So let's do. We have. What do we have? The best music. What accessories? We have the best music accessories. Okay. Then I think what they did there was enter, and then you have join us and discover the best music in your locate. Hold on. Let me just come here and do enter in your location. Right now, you can see it's not the same font size with this guy, as well as not the same font weight. So I'm just gonna reduce this guy from bold to regular and see what we have. I'm going to take it to light. Then I'm going to reduce the font from 24 to 12. Then I'm just going to drag him inside my bucket and just change the color to white. Not white, please. Let's use the same. These guys, they don't use the same color. You know what? Let's just use a different color from that guy. D9, D9, D9. That's what we use for that guy. Remember that this is just the very basic. Uh, this is just the very basic way to go about it. How did you remove the headphone background? Hmm. I know remove am, but I can show you how to remove background. It came like that actually, but you can see if you look at the image here, there is no background. Wait for it to load. You can see it's empty. There's no background. Unlike this one, I have. You can see this one has a background. I'll show you how to remove background if time permits us. So the next thing I want to do is this. Let's see. These guys here, right? These three, four. So I'm sure that everybody here would know how to do that because what I'm seeing there is just like three tiny circles and one small rectangle. So I just drew a very tiny circle. You can see the size is 16 by 16. So I'm just going to do it three times like this, and I'm just going to shift this one all the way up to here. And this is where I'm going to tell you the first thing, no, the third thing you're supposed to know tonight, which is where my text. Oh, my text now white color. Wait, okay. So the third thing, which is what? No, component variant. No, not today. Oh, Jesus. No, no, not today. Please, the third thing is what? Auto layout, right? Auto layout. What is auto layout? Auto means what? Automatic. Auto means automatically, basically. So what exactly is auto layout? Now, if you look at these guys here, um, I'm going to say something else now. I just hope that you are writing down, or of course, you will have the recording to actually go back to. And if I click on this guy, and I hold alternate on my keyboard. I'm clicking on alternate. Look at my mouse. See what it's doing? It's bringing out a second cursor underneath it. Do you know why? Because if I hold alternate, left click and drag, I can just duplicate easily. Alternate is still being held, and that's why I'm just duplicating. So you can try this out in your own time. You understand? You can just try this out later. But why did I say why did I talk about layout? Good. If you look at this and I come to this guy, there's one forbidden fruit here. Okay. If you click this one here and you hold alternate on your keyboard and you hover over another element, you hover another element, you're going to get the distance between the two elements. This is one of the reasons why Figma is not maybe it's not Photoshop. This is something like that. But I told you, remember I told you measurements. If I click on this one and I hover on this one, holding alternate, you can see the distance is 6. You can see 6 is distance. Now if I come here, I click on this one and I hover on this one, you can see it's 10. If I come here and I click on this one and I hover on this one, you can see it's 13. And this is a taboo. This is where auto layout comes into play. Why auto layout? Now I want you to know that I am going to talk about auto layout and use it in this example, which you're going to do back for me. But we are going to still discuss auto layouts again after today. Why? Because auto layout is broad, but I'm going to show you how it works basically. Now I'm going to do something. Let me first of all give this guy corner radius of let's say 12. Okay. Now For auto layout to work, you must select all the elements that you want to automatically place in a particular layout. By the time I place all these guys in auto layout, you're going to see a section here that's going to be written auto layout, just the way you have fill, layer, etc. So I'll just take one, hold shift on my keyboard, select the second one, still holding shift, select this one, still holding shift, select this one. And I'm going to right click and come here and look for auto layout. And I'm going to say add auto layout. You can see the shortcut. I for do one, but I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay, so add auto layout. Yeah. When there was an app for there was an app for a company, a supermarket rather, in Dubai, and when the developers, they are Indians, when they saw the design that I presented, and they saw that everything was inside automatic layout, this auto layout, they were actually impressed because it showed that I had value for measurements, dimensions, and all of those things. Layouts basically. It's actually very cool if you know auto layout. It helps lives. It makes your design even way easier. And I will show you all of these things as we proceed for the next 5 weeks. So when I click on add auto layout, like I told you, something is going to come up here. So you can pay attention to this part and just leave me. I'm going to click on auto layout. Done. Now you can see I have auto layout here. And now you can see that the distance between this to this has changed to 10. Distance between this to this, 10. Distance between this to this, 10. But why? As our Igbo brothers will say. But why? Because here in auto layout, we have its own setup. We have the vertical layout and we have the horizontal layout. If I click the vertical layout, these guys are going to still maintaining their auto layout positions, but they're going to go vertically like this. See that? If I click the horizontal, they go horizontal. This is auto layout, the magic it does. This one here is alignment. We're not using this in this particular example, but probably use it on the screen itself. So I'm just going to, this one here is to reduce the size, I mean the spacing between these items. So if I make it like, let's say 3, all of these guys, you can see that this red line is now going to be 3. So I'll click on this one here. I want to reduce it a bit. It's looking too much. And I'm just going to see how I can take this guy to my frame and place it here. It's too big. You make your own better. Oh. It's because I'm actually in a rush, so I can answer all the questions. And then the last thing we have here are the buttons. So you're just going to make these guys smaller. Well, let me not do that for you. So you'll be doing that yourself, and it's pretty simple. Yes, who is speaking to me? Please put on your mic. You will have yeah. Shift A also works for auto layout, and yes, you can use remove BG to remove backgrounds. Wait to see. Wait, sorry guys, hold on. Yes, hold on. You know this guy is only allowed to work for like 1 hour. So let me cut the call and resend another link. Just hold on. Thank you. Just hold on. Okay, so can you hear me? Wait. Hello. Okay, so I believe everyone can hear me. So let me just proceed real quick. It's already past an hour, but you can hear me now, right? Okay. Okay, so great. So let me just proceed real quickly. So where we've been there, okay, good. Now buttons, the last thing we are doing for this particular design. You guys will work on these pages yourself. I will send you or no, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I will make another video specifically for these two pages and send. I'll just record and send so that you can add it up with this one. But this one you do by yourself. I'm expecting submissions for the next class from every single person here. Buttons, skip and next. How do you create these buttons? The basic way is what? Rectangle, right? So I'm just gonna have two rectangles here. Please put off your microphone so that put off your microphones so that so that we don't get distracted. Okay, great. So put make sure your microphone is actually turned. Yeah. So we have two buttons. The first one is yellow. The second one is black. There's a stroke. So I'm just going to let me take the two of them here for forensics. Hold on. Let me try to get them two here. Please put off your microphone. So when your mic is on and it's actually distracting. So I'm just going to come here and select this color here. And then this one here, listen, it has a stroke. It does not have a fill. If you look at it, it's empty. This is called a tertiary button. More of that to come later. So I'm going to remove the fill here and just add a stroke instead. And that stroke has to be now we'll make am black first, we'll see am. Then let me just add text real quick. Sorry, let me admit some people in. So I'm just going to add the text real quick. So just click on it. So yeah, I'm going to write skip. This is the beginner way to creating buttons. I'll make a video showing you how to make advanced buttons using auto layout. So here I'm going to have skip, and here I'm going to have next. And here I'm going to have next, right? So corner reviews, very important. You can see it's there. So I just select the two of them, and here I'm just going to do like let's say 12 corner reviews. Great. And one last thing I'm teaching you here is called grouping. So what is a group? You group items so that they move together, right? For example, you can see here that this rectangle is moving away from my button and it doesn't make sense. You can't present this to developers to code. So I'm just going to select the two of them and Control G. That makes it a group. So let me accept someone here. So that makes it a group. Now you can see they move together. And when you make something a group, if you look to the left, there's another icon for it here. So the same thing you do for this guy, just select the both of them and you just make them a group. And then let me just view all and which all. Okay, so what's the next thing we're going to do? Now you're going to use auto layout again, please. Select the two of them and just right click and add auto layout. Then reduce the distance in between the elements. You can see no go do minus, so just do like let's say two. Let me see what two looks like. Let's increase it to let's do like four. The buttons are big anyways, but let's do four. Now I'm just going to drag them into my design here, into my buckets, right? Now in the bucket here, I want to click on this first one. Let me zoom into it. So click on this first one here, and I'm going to change the stroke color from this to white, and the text color as well. I'm just going to change it to white as well. And then this one I think is good to go. So let's see. So with this, you have designed. Wait, let's see. So I'm moving together. Yes, cool. One last trick. One last trick. Just look at this thing, guys. I'm going to show you one last trick. Click on the frame itself. Come to stroke. Add a stroke that is white. Take the stroke outside. Increase the stroke to like 4. Reduce the transparency of the stroke to like 50%. Then you have it looking like a phone. No be say na so e dey be o. We actually use mockups in UI design, all those mockups of how a phone would look like. But this is just you presenting your assignment to me. If it's not like this, if it's not fine like this or finer than this, we have to retake this particular class. But I'm sending you guys a video. I will send a video for these two. I'll do them myself. I'm almost out of power. So I'll do this two myself and I will send them for you guys to actually add this. But your assignment today is this page number 1, making use of frames, the idea of onboarding screens, and auto layout. So let me have your questions. Let me have your questions, please. Okay, yes. Someone asked the question in the last class. The person said, "Is frame landing page?" No, no, no. A landing page is different from a frame. Landing page is like So I say I just dey suffer for front end. A landing page is like okay, a full website page, right? That's like a landing page, a full web page. That's like a landing page. But a frame is just you designing this. If it's a web page you want to design, basically go for a desktop and something. This is where we start designing your website. You can start with your rulers, have your margins and all of that. Even in the battery have come from me. So that's the difference between those guys, all right? So it's not basically the same thing. And now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to um let me just hold on guys. 1 second. Just hold on. Hold on. Let me just present my screen. All right. So please confirm that you can hear me. I need to make sure that everyone can hear me. Yeah, welcome Franklin. Great. So let's move, right? Okay. So what was the last thing? Okay, yeah. So desktop is like okay, this is a landing page. So now you want to design for a company. You just design the entire page. If it's as long as this, it go long like this in your design. And then when you're done with it, you just give it to the developers and they work on it. Like this one, for example, if you look at this 13-minute design, um, like I said, this is not like 20% of what I would advise anybody to do on a professional job. It's not it at all. If you even check the distance between these two guys, you can see 16, 17 left and right. It's not that all. Everything is measured. Everything is measured. If I come here to inspect, you can see all the codes that the developers use, and they basically just use this for their CSS, even for Android, iPhones, all the codes they need for Flutter, for Swift, everything is available here. So that's what we give to them. So you see that we don't just design, like we're not just there to go, I just want to design the interface. So I just want to now I like the way I'm doing my is that it doesn't work like that. We design for development, all right? We design for development or we design for presentation. It's different. Maybe perhaps you have a client that wants to do a UI UX design, but he wants to use the design to pitch for investment $2 million in Elon Musk company. So you're designing so that he can present the design and say, "This is the app idea I have." So that's presentation. So for that one, you need to do all your prototypes. You need to tell, "Oh, this page. When I click on you, take me to this page." You understand? You come here, you put this one here because this is the last one. Do you understand what I mean? You see what auto layout is helping to do here? This is auto layout. I can just click on it and just move it. This is what I was talking about. This is why I use auto layout and not grouping. If you don't use auto layout here, you might just miss out on the beauty of this particular guy. So you can see that's what auto layout does. I'm just moving them left and right with my arrow keys rather. So we don't design just because we want to design. We design because there is development to occur on this design. There are a lot of designs on my screen. I can take you through them, but perhaps another day. I don't want anyone to feel too overwhelmed. I'm thinking that maybe there is a lot more to learn. Of course, there is a lot to learn, but nothing here is difficult. You understand? I will try my best to make it as simple as I can for all of us here to be, you know, benefactors of this batch. So let's do this. So let me have your questions. Type your questions to me on the chat section so I can respond to them one by one. So okay, I'm going to start with remove PG. Good. Let me start from there. When you download an image from Google, most times it's not going to come with the background removed like my own did. So let's say I save this image, very fine headset. So I've saved it, you can see it there. You can just go to remove.pg. There's a plugin for this, but I'm not taking you a plugin for the next until the next class. Next class we'll talk about plugins, of course, or in the video that I'll be sending later on. So when you go to remove.bg, this is the website. I'm just going to copy it and paste it in the chat section so that you can see it anywhere you are in this world. I just hope you're not in Nigeria. So remove the BG. So I'm just going to, I can just come here and drag this guy in here. And so it's going to remove the background and I can now download it. So this is the downloaded version. This is the downloaded version without the background. So you can see the difference. You can see the difference. The difference is clear. You can see the difference. So, but the reason why we use plugin is because of the resolution of the image. Let me show you something real quick. This is the one that we did not remove the background, and this is the one that we removed the background. You see, this one is smaller than this one. Good. Coming back to Google now, watch this. The resolution of an image is the width and height of the image. You can see this here is 712 by 978. I will understand if you cannot see this, but if you go to Google, click on any image, bottom right, you will see the size. So you can see this one is 1,600 by this thing fine. Anyways, this is 1,600 by 1,067. If I remove the background of this image using remove BG, it's going to reduce the image quality and the image size as well. You understand? That's why we basically make use of the plugin. But you can use remove BG for your assignment that is being given today. Okay, so let me go down here and see if I can see something else I could pick up. So yes, Mr. Oyeni Olale, yeah, you can make use of plugins, but beginners, I'm not going to advise anybody here to use plugin today for remove BG. Just make use of the website, remove BG. Are we getting the file you have for the class? I don't understand your question, Mr. Okocha Emmanuel. Please, if you can rephrase your question so I can understand you. I have missed how to remove background and how you added the last call to action because of the break in transmission. Please help. Oh, you sent it twice. Okay, you sent it twice. Okay. How to remove background, I just explained that. How I added the last CTA. Okay. CTA means call to action. It's just one of those terminologies that we use to make people think that we know something. So these guys are buttons, right? So I'm just going to do it again. Simple way. Create the first rectangle. Create the second. In the next class, you're not doing this thing for me. This rectangle. I beg. You must have passed this level in the next class. So I'm just going to click on the both of them, and this is in inspect. That's why I'm still seeing code. I just want to come back to design, and the corner radius I'm going to do like 12. Then I'll just this one here. If you look at the example, you see that is a stroke that it has. It doesn't have background, so I'll just click on this one. You see this field? I'm going to remove it by clicking on this minus sign here and adding a stroke, and stroke has to be white. This one here was yellow, just this color yellow. Then T for text, you know how it works. So this one, what was this? Next and skip. So this one is going to be next, and I'll just keep it here. And then if you know how I jack this guy out, Abby. If you don't know, please you watch the video. Okay, you know what? I'll say it again. I'll say it again. So this here is going to be next. Good. Now, if I want to just duplicate something, I can always do Control C and Control V, right? If you do Control C, Control V, you basically duplicate something. But this is how we do it here. Control G is actually going to still duplicate it, and that's fine. But here we use alternate click and drag. Alternate left click and drag. And that's how we duplicate things very quickly here. So I'm just going to just duplicate this one as well. This one is going to be skip. I'm just going to just place them at the center. You will know when you see all these red lines. And so just make sure they are placed at the center. And there's a way to make it place at the center like easily, but I don't want to give you too much for today. I just want to try and see how I can even wrap up as soon as possible so that you can go to your night clubs and your night videos. So here we have this. So let me just place it here. So the next thing I did was I grouped the text to the rectangle, right? So I just selected the both of them, or you can just drag over the two of them. Control G to group them, drag over the two of them. Let me right click and do it from here. Control G or group selection. Then the two of them, I just basically selected the two of them and I did auto layouts. I added auto layouts to them. You can see it. So Then I reduce the distance between them to about 4 there, about there. That's what we have here. You understand? That's how we created the call to actions. So let me see what else we have here. Can you come again with importing an image? Why not? Of course, I can do that for you. So to import an image, my dear brother, this sister, sorry, hold on. My dear um, Charles Obi Neto Egisio, my dear friend, I'll come again with importing an image. So you want to import an image. If you want to import an image into a shape, you can just come here, select the shape, left click and drag to draw. Then you come back here, you look for place image inside it, whatever. You click on it, and then it will open your phone, I mean your laptop rather, and then you just select a picture. The picture is just with your mouse. You just have to drop it somewhere. You can drop it anywhere, but yeah, if you want to drop it in the shape, it will take the shape of the shape. Hmm, rhymes. It's going to take the shape of the shape. And then the second way I said you can get images in is, let's say this was just a shape. So what you want to do is come to the field here, click on this, convert solid to image, select choose image, and then you just for this. But let's say you just want an image like this without any shape attached. Download the image, take it to Google, remove the background, then you come here and then you just resize it and you place that. Wait, oh, shit, this guy no fine like this. Wait, I'm seeing something. I'm trying to see if I can create a collab here. It's too busy. It's too busy, shall and being too busy is not good. Another gadget for make sense somewhere around here, sha. But no wahala. The way it was before, okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, please. Let me see. Oluwatosin Sambaku. What is our assignment, please? Your assignment is to design this page. This is not going to take you more than 30 minutes. This page, this is your assignment that you shall design this page. Creating a frame with the iPhone 13 mini. It has to be the iPhone 13 mini. You can rename it here. You can rename it basically anything. But I will still know it's the iPhone 13 mini based on the size because the iPhone 13 mini is 375 by 812. You can see that the iPhone 14 Pro Max is 430 932. It's not the same size. No go did you pass yourself. So after you do the frame, the next thing you want to do is just this whole design here. Let me do one very quick thing. Let me see. Let me get tech black logo or tech white logo. I want to put a logo on this guy. Tech white logo. How to say I can put a logo on that screen? Let me just put something. Let's just attach. Let it look. You understand? So I'm not gonna see waiting I define. Let me say Intel logo. I've used this before in another class. Yes. I remember. So let's look for one of these Intel logos here. Just change the color to white. Just do one or two touches to it. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so let's go for this one here without background. You can see it doesn't have background. Oh, see this one here. I think we can just make do with this one. So sorry, let's. I think we should go for what be you now. This one. So I'm just going to wait for it to load. It's blurry. I need to wait for it to look sharp. We do sharp things here. If it doesn't look sharp, I look for something else. Sharp. Oh. It has not gotten sharp, so I'm just going to go for. Let me see if there's another fine one that I could just use. It is black. Mm, okay, I'm just going to. No, let me use it like that. Let me just use it like that. I think if I reduce the size, it will not be noticeable. So I copied the image and I've pasted it here using Ctrl V. So I'm just going to reduce the size. It's not be too noticeable that it's not sharp. So that's the magic I wanted to do. To just place it somewhere around here. You have something like this. So it's like let's say that this is the company that owns the app, and this is the onboarding screen, you know, etc. etc. Let me delete this one. So this is your assignment to just design this page, and yellow was using a design, but I could use a different color. Everybody use yellow so that we don't commit color abuse until we discuss colors properly. So use yellow, and this is your assignment. So let's see what other. Okay, how do we submit the assignment? So good question. To submit your assignment, just when you finish designing, come here, click on share. Come here, look for copy link. The link has been copied to your clipboard. Now get that link to the WhatsApp group when the group is open for submissions. Okay. How can you get to the WhatsApp group? I will not tell you. Figure it out. But a wise man once said that you can copy the link. A wise woman once said that you can copy the link, take it to your email because your email is usually signed on your laptop, right? Put it in a draft on your email, then open your email on your phone, copy the link from there. Smart moves. Smart moves. So that's how you get the link to WhatsApp. So let's see what questions we have. The onboarding screens we have as assignments. Are we getting the image? Yes, you're getting an image. No, from me. No, you're not getting an image from me. You're researching your image. You can use any image you get. You can use any image from the internet, but let it be a headphone. Let it be a headphone. Please, can you run through the auto layout again? Why did you group the CTA before you add auto layouts? Okay, let me run through the auto layouts one more time. I will just do this one more time. Auto layout is used for aligning elements. Look at these guys now, for example, there are 4 circles, there are 5 circles on my screen. I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to do Shift A. I'm going to right click and add auto layouts. When I do that, they get arranged. This is the work of auto layouts. That's it. They get arranged. This one here now is the horizontal spacing. You can see if this was a physical class, I would have been using my pen to be pointing at the screen. But you can see these guys. You can see those pink lines, a bit purple lines. So you can see them there. Those are the spaces in between the elements, right? Or items. If I reduce it to 12, it goes to 12. You can see it there. So that is the work of auto layout. So what we did in the first instance of auto layout is just that we increased one. Let's say there were four. We increased one to act as the active onboarding screen. What does that mean? If I come back here, oh no, let me take an example from Google. Look at this one now. If you look at this image, let me copy the image to Figma so I can zoom the life. So if you look at this image, you see 3 circles, 3 circles, 3 circles. You see that in this one, the first one is active because you see the blue. In this one, the second one is active, you see the blue. And in this one, the third one is active, you see the blue. And in this one, you can see that there is the arrow for next is not active. But in the first one, you see that the arrow for previous is not active. Rather, the one for next is active. That's because they are showing you how it progresses. So this guy is what we did with auto layout. You understand? So that's how we came about this here on auto layout. Why did you group the CTA before you add auto layout? Good question. I grouped the CTA, that's the buttons. The CTA are those buttons. We are there in this life. Okay, good. So these guys, I grouped them because for the basics of this class, the beginner levels, it makes sense that they are grouped. For those who are just getting introduced to Figma, by the next class, we will no longer be making use of grouping for buttons. We'll make use of auto layout for buttons. Assignment to be submitted when and how. I believe that I have answered these questions. May I check time? This was 10:25. Okay, so I've answered the questions. Any more questions for me from these beautiful people? Guys, bear with it. Everybody's beautiful in this life. So, any more questions from you guys? Do you have any questions? If you're not sure how you can type your question, I can let you speak, but just let me know that you want to talk on the chat session so that I can know that you want to say something. Chat. I know they see on a hand. Please, Jamila Ibrahim, please, you can speak. Let me hear from you. Yeah, good evening. Okay, noted. You can put off your mic now. So you saw the part where I added the stroke to the frame, but the effects and the rest of that you're not very clear. If I understand you correctly. So this guy, I added a stroke to this frame from here, and of course this is where I can actually alternate the color of my design, the frame. And then this one here is the effect. I think I said effect, leave it for now. And then this one here is the export. This is, let's say, okay, I've done this design now. It's fine. Okay, it's plenty. It's very fine. Let me export it. So I'm going to export it now. So now that I've exported it, you see that it has been downloaded into my laptop. So I'm just going to click on it. So you see that it's on my laptop. So let's say I want to go and offend my enemies, and I want to tell them that, oh, now I do UI UX design. I want to offend life out of them. I just need to I'm just going to come here and send it to my Bluetooth phone, and I'm going to I'm going to share it to WhatsApp now. So WhatsApp. So everybody on WhatsApp, you can just see I just sent the design. So that's what you use the export to do. To change your background, you can just do this from here. Basically, all of this is in the video. You basically go through the video again, and you know you'll actually enjoy it. Um, you're submitting the assignment before the next class, anytime between Saturday and Sunday, before at least Sunday before 12 p.m., so that I can go through. How soon can we get the record? The record will be available tonight. Please, how do you resize the buttons after grouping? Um, it's pretty simple to resize the buttons. You just have to get into the buttons actually, double click, make sure you selected the buttons, and then you just reduce the rectangle, you know. But because this is a group, you need to make sure you go inside and reduce, increase the text as well, and then align. If you are using auto layouts, you will not be doing all of these things. It will be much more easier. So just use the group for today's class. Who said it seems as if I'm speaking Chinese? Your name looks like Chinese. Let me see what you wrote. Um, okay. 1 second, please. I'll be with you guys in 1 second. Let me just attend to someone here. Okay. He said the group will be open. Yes, the group will be open for submission at specific times. Let's say like tomorrow it might be open around 12 to 2 or 12 to 1. Submit all your links. Then maybe again in the evening I would create the schedule and I'll let you know. It's my first time here, so it's like you're speaking Chinese. Forgive me. I don't know if we could get a comprehensive PDF or video where we could read up and understand. I really appreciate. Thanks a lot. There is no PDF that you will read that is going to be more elaborate than I have been. I can say that it's possible that you did not join from the beginning of the class because you are not alone a lot of people here are also first timers. So what you would do for me is go through the class, through the recording with an open mind, and of course, I will provide materials during the course. But if you don't understand the simple basis that I'm actually giving out, the materials will even be more complicated to comprehend. You understand? Good evening. Please, how can I get the record for the previous class? I'm going to reshare the record for the previous class. As the videos downloadable, yes, the videos are downloadable, but they cost a lot. One video, this video is over an hour. It's going to cost about 700 megabytes. Um, 700 megabytes. If I download the video 700 megabytes, I send the video 700 megabytes. You watch the video 700 megabytes. At the end, you prefer the links. When is the deadline to submit the assignment? Please, let's do Sunday by 12. Sunday by 12 p.m. Let's have all the assignments ready. And any more questions? You want to say something? Please let me know. We are rounding up. This is already 10:37. Some of you need to go to party. Your Uber is waiting, and those of you that want to go to Night VG, they are waiting for you to come and lead in praise and worship. So we need to collate this experience as soon as possible, so that we can all go back to our different states. Um, no more questions. I can see that. Can we get the design? No, you're not getting the design. You're only getting the this picture here. You're only getting this picture to work with. Oh, oh yeah, only getting that picture to work with. What's the assignment again, please? You watch the video to confirm what the assignment is. But the assignment is one more time, because I have patience. Because I have patience. This is the assignment here. You're designing you're designing this particular screen. Okay. Might not be ready Monday morning due to travel and circumstances. God bless you, sir. God bless you too, but make it ready by Sunday. It has to be ready on Sunday. So, ladies and gentlemen, with this, we have come to the end of today's session. I um I must say that it has been fruitful. What do you think? Please drop a comment. Let me know how the class went for you. Let me know if you're actually knowing more, if you're gaining more knowledge, how it's going for you. Let me know in the comments section. So Charles says thank you with a smiley emoji. Ehiado says I'm overwhelmed. It's an eye opener. Amazing session for Oluwatosin. Thank you very much. With a heart from Chidindu Samson Esema. Awesome from Idonov. Okay, okay. Thank you, sir, from Wisdom Johnny. Top notch from Anyandola Aremu Sherlock Holmes. Shell Holmes. Okay. Jamila Ibrahim says awesome class. Awe Ola Oluwa says awesome, thanks coach. Brantok says thanks. Ezema Strategy says there's no other way better. Splendid, and I love the knowledge impacted from Monday. And then Okocha Emmanuel says, very good, thank you for sharing. Can't wait to the assignments. Ayodeji Thomas says, very impactful. Ayan Dollar says, taking milk now, awaiting the strong meat. Yes, there's a lot to do. It's easy for now, but it gets easier. It gets tougher, it gets easier. Yeah. Thank you, boss. It's my first encounter with UI UX from Charles. I think I love it. It's actually easy, honestly, compared to the centering of divs. Front end web development is it's easy compared to UI UX design, I must say, because by the time I open your mind to thinking about the possibilities of design in itself, you might find it taxing. It involves a lot of brain work. If we go through the 5 design thinking processes one by one, we talk about things like maybe ideation, collaboration. It's quite a lot. It's not There's no easy one. There's no easy one. The class was interesting, but we were very fast. That's why the class is being recorded. So I might be as fast as I am. It's because some of us here have parties to go to. While the class is being recorded, you can always come back and watch it. The class so far has been incredible from Mr. Franklin. Thanks a lot. Amazing session for a first timer from Isiaka. Oluwatosin says the strong meets na prototype. No, prototype is very easy. Prototype is very easy. The strongest thing to do in design is to think. So thank you so much. Too good and free to be real. Olamide Kuti. David Adeyo. Thanks for the class, sir. What's your name, sir? My name is Nathan, aka Fine Boy. My name is Nathan, aka Fine Boy. This is the first time I'm calling myself a Fine Boy, but whatever. So um thankfully, okay, yeah. So you say front end is harder, bro. Who's your bro? What is bro? Please speak English here. So Hamed Olafim, I know you, I know you. Awesome class as always. So I can't wait to explore more on this from Monday, James. Yeah, sure. There's a lot to do. Like I said, the next 5 weeks will be very, very engaging. You would be really happy with yourself that you clicked on that link to join the class, and then the next session you will have no you have every joy within yourself to actually invite all your friends to learn a skill. I am actually one that advocates for people learning skills. Just learn skills. It pays. Wala for no fine. I'm telling you. Smart. It was fun. The attendance we take in. Okay, so about attendance, you know that some of you made me admit a lot of new persons into the group, and because of that, I'm not yet able to um, how do I put this now? Collate the entire attendance for everybody. I am not able to do that yet because a lot of new people have come in. I don't even know your names. I don't know some names because some of you were not at the beginning when we had the rules for I will save your name and all of that. But it's fine. It's fine. I believe that I can monitor every single person who is going to qualify for the certificate at the end of the course of the class, and also qualify for maybe the LinkedIn optimization, profile build up, and all the connectivities that I might be passing on. So that's okay. So I'm going to put how do they put this idiom? Is it put a full stop to it? I will put a pin on it, whichever way. I'm going to stop here for tonight, and I'm going to tell you guys that it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I just want you to have a great night. Those of you going to parties, please attend the parties. If you're going to church, go to church. Anywhere you're going in this life, you can go now. I've finished the class, so you can start to exit. Let me just stop the recording here.